Hey folks, Cornell with YouTube Fishing Vids. Boy, I am out here in some deep water on a crisp, cool day. That's not going to be actually that bad. It's maybe about 55 degrees. And I got myself a little crappie on a blade bait. That's the absolute 100% original Silver Buddy. But it's gold, it's cloudy, so that's why I'm using the gold. It's a great option. I got fish all over the depth finder. I'm in the main channel. I'm in the main area of the lake. I mean, I'm smack dab in the middle. I'm in 42 feet of water. 42 feet of water, 38-degree water temperature. So just to even catch myself an itty bitty little crappie on a blade bait out here in the middle. I dropped a buoy marker out. I marked some fish, and from what I see, they're crappie. So let's stick with it, see if we can find a bass in the mix. Just to get one fish is enough for me on a cold, crisp December day. Stay tuned. I almost didn't even feel that bite. That thing just felt like a soft, wet leaf grabbing onto my hook of my little Silver Buddy here. So just a 7'2" medium action spinning rod with 12-pound test braid and a 10-pound test fluorocarbon leader for this half-ounce Silver Buddy. It's a no-brainer. It's taken forever to get down. There's a main channel here that actually has a little bit of a lip. It comes up into about 30-some feet of water, drops off. There's just a bunch of fish stacked up that I can see. So I'm playing with whatever's down there. I'm giving it short little blurps, just little bloop, let it vibrate and let it just fall straight down, and real short. I mean, it's so cold. The water's 38 degrees, guys. Crazy. There's actually ice in the pockets. There's ice up on the shoreline. So you want to challenge yourself for some serious wintertime fishing. This is it. I've got no wind. It is dead calm. I'd be throwing a jerk bait if I had a little bit more wind, but I haven't really seen any fish suspended. So I'm down on the bottom where I see the fish, and prayerfully there'll be a bass mixed in. There's some pretty big marks in with these little guys. So let's just stay at it and see if I can pull something off. It's a mushy feeling bite. Guys, this is crazy. I'm in 50 feet of water. I'm very curious to see what this is. It has a little more to it than that last crappie, that's for sure. It's swimming. I marked these fish. I marked every one of these fish. It's got some weight to it. Oh, what did I catch? I got a largemouth. I got myself a cold, lethargic. This thing was barely moving, and there we go, guys. Icy cold. We're still at 38-degree water temperature. This thing is freezing. I'm looking at the red lips on these things. That's another thing that happens. These mouths get really hard. Really important to have very sharp hooks, and a little backbone to your rod is going to be real important. So there's my first bass of the day on a blade bait. Gosh, again, it's just awesome to be sitting in 50 feet of water, throwing up into about 42. There's a little drop coming into the channel here. That was the first cast to that buoy marker that I just dropped when I saw those fish. So let's keep at it and see if there's some bigger ones. So if you folks are itching to do some fishing and it's cold, but you've got something other than frozen lakes and ponds around you, break out a blade bait, work it out maybe on a spinning rod, 12-pound test braid with a 10-pound test fluorocarbon leader, anywhere from a quarter to a half ounce depending on how deep you have to fish. Even if you're on the shorelines, these blade baits are great. They can absolutely catch some cold winter bass. So get out and challenge yourself. These things are absolutely killer. I come out here every winter and I play with these things, and I actually do pretty well, as do most people. So it's just nothing. It's nothing more than dropping this thing straight to the bottom and giving it real slight little blurps, just little blurps off the bottom. Let it vibrate off of the bottom, flutter back down, and those bass that are lethargic just sitting out on the bottom just see it flutter up. They watch it fall in front of the face and they grab it. So it's an absolutely awesome wintertime technique. Right now in 38-degree water temperature, it's one of the most challenging times to fish, but there are some giant bass in the wintertime to catch, and these blade baits will get them. So get on out there and play with these blade baits. Get a gold if it's cloudy, a silver if it's sunny. It's that simple. And clear water is definitely a big deal when it comes to wintertime fishing, this cold water. If it's a little stained, use those gold blades, and that vibration will get them too. But ideally, some nice clear cold water is the way to roll. It is such a mushy feeling bite. It's gonna be like you just got caught up in some leaves. You just gotta pull back, and if you've got clean bottom like I do, and you've run over a spot where you've marked fish, if you feel anything, it's probably gonna be these icy cold bass that are just barely sucking it in. So there's bass number 2. I just keep moving until I see different groups of fish, and I'm throwing out that buoy marker. It's a dink, but I'm telling you what, if it's 38-degree water, I'm catching fish in 50 feet of water. I am ecstatic. So it's just really gratifying getting out here, and the wind's just starting to pick up a little bit. If the bite starts picking up, that's going to be even better. So there's 1 crappie and 2 bass in some icy cold water. This is absolutely incredible. You know, we talk about the wintertime being a one big fish type of day, but if you can get out some numbers in 38-degree water, it's got a little more meat to them. This thing's actually fighting a little bit. I know it's bigger than that last one. Let's see how big it is though, because they just don't fight a lot. I'm pulling them up out of 50-degree water. Look at this fish, guys. Chunky. Look how pale it is. It is way down there, and it's such a mushy. I got to be honest with you guys. I'm not familiar. I don't fish deep water like this. I could be honest with you guys right now. I've never ever caught a bass out of 53 feet of water. I mean, it's going up to about 50 right there, but I've been out on some bigger lakes in the wintertime, and I've dropped, you know, spoons down into, you know, 30, 40 feet of water, but here I am just seeing the fish. I mean, if I see fish, I'm going to fish for them, and if they happen to be 50 feet of water, that's where they're going to be. So there we go. That's a 3rd bass, and I'm having a blast. So let's see if we got to find that big one. There's got to be a big one down there. Let's just keep at it. All kinds of drops and humps, and there are some fish right on top of that hump. I'm going to kick over this buoy marker right here, and there's just a big old lip of fish right there. So you see how these drop-offs are. There's just another drop-off and then a steep drop-off, and on top of that little shelf we got a gang of fish. So that's where I'm dropping my buoy marker, and I'm going to throw to these fish with that silver buddy and see what I can do. There we go. Guys, I'm telling you what, this blade bait wintertime fishing is something special, and it's definitely something you guys need to get out here and do. This is just another mushy bite, and a really little bit heavier feeling fish. I'm going to turn this around so we can see what we're looking at. Decent little fish. Nothing big, just little dinks, but man, we are catching some fish, and the sun came out and the wind is blowing a little bit, so boat control is a little bit of a challenge, but I'm just kind of fishing the whole area where I'm catching these fish, so it's just awesome. So I'm going to be out here for another hour or so, so if I can end up with a couple more of these little guys, I'm happy. If we get that big one, that's great. Otherwise, another day out fishing in my little mountain lake up here in Maryland for some winter bass. All right, folks, I made it back to the boat ramp after about 3.5 hours of winter bass fishing up here in the mountains of Maryland. Absolutely awesome morning. A handful of bass, dinky little crappie, all on the blade bait. Absolutely incredible wintertime bass fishing technique. If you haven't tried it, pick yourself up a couple blade baits. They'll get it done in this chilly water. Folks, as always, I appreciate you joining me. As always, I appreciate you subscribing, and until we meet again, over and out.